Good morning, comic fans. Welcome back to Comics in 5 Minutes. I'm never no shorty, and there's far too much to review this week. I'm going to have to pick and choose, but if you've seen anything that's due out this week that you absolutely need me to talk to you about, let me know. I'm on, the socials. Today, though, we're going to look at Batman. And, yeah, this one is kind of Route 1, but it's also something I've genuinely been looking forward to. I kind of took my interest away from the main Batman series when they did Hush 2. It's not that I dislike Hush, it's just that it was never really that defining thing for me that made me really desperately want a sequel to find out what happens next. Jim Lee being Jim Lee meant it was going to be delayed from day one, and it has been delayed to the point that there's 2 issues like that can't be for this one, and this one's out now. So we're going to review it, and it's gotta be honest, it's one of those where I think my expectations could have been an issue. I think I could have gone into this with being like, right, this is Matt Fraction, famously a fantastic writer, Jorge Jimenez, famously a brilliant artist. I could come out of this thinking, well, this is my own fault. I put these people on a pedestal, and as it turns out, all they're doing is just putting out a monthly Batman comic book, which, to be fair, wouldn't be the worst criticism I was going to give them. But it turns out that's not what they did. They've done an amazing book. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a couple of little things worth talking about. I'm not just going to be throwing nothing but praise, except to Jorge Jimenez, because he does nothing wrong. Like, this comic book is him at his peak. There are just some beautiful wide shots of Gotham City, fantastic 3-point perspective, brilliant action. The colouring that I can't remember the name of the colourist, but is brilliantly done as well, really adds on to his hatching and shading and inking. It's all just a masterpiece. Early on, we get this wonderful sequence of just the no longer Commissioner Gordon just on the beat as uniform cop with his new partner, and it is so understated but beautiful. It's just amazing. Like, genuinely check it out. No other reason than that. But specifically, it's because his styles, and I'm saying styles, it feels like there's more than one here, lean exactly into the kind of stuff I like. There is a looseness to it. Not quite into that overly scratchy, loose quality that I like, where I talk more about the organic nature of it and the lack of polish, because there is absolutely polish here, and it looks effortless. It's not until you find yourself being drawn into the pages and paying attention to details, putting and realise there's not a single wasted line. The economy of it is fantastic, and again, just absolutely brilliant. Including some nice bits playing with form. We have moments just taken from various TV stations, cutting in and out of sentences, capturing a few seconds worth of media in a single still image, done very effectively. And when we have Batman's new technological stuff kicking in, we get a little in-universe graphic explaining what's going on. It's a very nice fine line between showing and telling, and it's just done brilliantly and adds an awful lot to the way Batman is in the world and the way we read comic books. The writing, I've got to be honest, after that initial little bit with Gordon, I kind of felt like, right, this is where it's going to fall apart for me. Because one of the reasons I really like Fraction is his ability to get to the human nature of it all. Not just the humanity, but when he's dealt with other superheroes before, when they haven't had powers, he's been very, very good at getting to what it's like just on a day-to-day basis of living in a city, of having friends and compatriots and people knowing who you are and people not knowing who you are and what that means. Now, Batman has so much high tech that he's practically superpowered in his way, but he is still a human. And we have these wonderful moments of the way he gets through the day, kind of talking to himself, figuring things out, and using external, both external and internal media and interfaces to get his point across and figure things out. It's all brilliantly done, but it starts with him going against type for me a little bit. He's basically talking about Killer Croc doing some violent thing, and he refuses to engage with the idea that Killer Croc has Wayland as still being an issue. He talks about it in terms of the inevitability of recidivism, the fact that there is nothing that can be done. He is inherently now criminalistic, and as much as he will not kill him or deal with him in a violent way, he still understands that the only thing to do is put him back into the carceral system. This doesn't feel like justice, which is Batman's entire thing. If there is no chance of redemption or rehabilitation, then that is not justice, that is just punishment. But by the end of the book, due to some phenomenal character writing, and again, some brilliant art, Jimenez's Killer Croc is amazing, we do get a sense that Batman is willing to listen to outside people, actually engage with the world beyond his understanding of it, and change his mind. Now, one of the things I commented on throughout the run of Zdarsky in the last big few arcs was he'd made Batman the protagonist of his own book more than any other of the Rogues Gallery. And I think this works really effectively, and part of that is his intractable nature. When presented with a chance to change and do something different and move with the times and move with the world, he refuses and just sticks to his guns, and it causes him more problems. The fact that in this one issue, and it is only one issue, we get to see that change, I feel like is a really, really good move. We also have the fact that we have a genuine supervillain in charge of GCPD, which makes me think Fraction is going to do some proper ACAB kind of storylines, because it's slightly safer to do it when you've got an actual supervillain rather than just be like, cops are always like that, which they are. But I still think it's nice that he's given himself the opportunity to do it, and in the back of the book they even talk about Blue versus Bat, so we know that's coming, and I've got that to look forward to, which is it's going to be exactly what my anarchist little heart wants. And the fact that it's so well written and so good looking that, yeah, I'm 100% sold on this one. Can't wait for the rest of it. That's it for me for now, though. Until I see you all again, look after everyone. Stay safe. Bye.